Why are some Israelis pushing the idea of conquering more foreign land? You may have seen this video of Israeli soldiers raising the Israeli flag over the Lebanese village of Maruna Ras as the army expands its incursion in the country. Or maybe this touching father and son moment caught your attention.
הספר אלון ולבנון, אלון ולבנון. בוקר אחד, בדרכו לגן, הצביע אלון על הערים ושאל את אבא, מה הערים האלו? אלו הרי לבנון. אי אפשר, זה מסוכן, האויב נמצא שם.
That's the book, Alon and Lebanon, published by an Israeli organization that wants to build settlements in Lebanon. Because it seems the war in Lebanon has boosted the hopes of Israelis with new settlement ambitions. One organization's already come up with a proposal, and they've changed the names of these Lebanese villages to Hebrew ones. You see, there's an even bigger picture here, the idea of Greater Israel. That's the claim that God promised the, quote, children of Israel, not only Israel, but the West Bank, Gaza, all of Lebanon, all of Jordan, most of Syria, parts of Iraq, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and even a tiny bit of Turkey. It's often dismissed as a fringe fantasy, but is it? In September, the Jerusalem Post published and then removed this editorial piece entitled, "Is Lebanon part of Israel's promised territory?" It caused quite a stir, because the author spells out the religious reasons why these territories really belong to Israel. It goes even further, arguing biblical text command Jewish people to conquer these territories to fulfill this historic promise. Again, fringe fantasy? Well, not really. While the concept has religious origins, the politics originate from Zionism and the European project at the turn of the 20th century to help Jewish people migrate to what was then historic Palestine. Some in the Zionist movement envisioned the lands under the British Mandate would be part of a new Jewish state. But another mainstream Zionist idea was that other areas should become Israel, including historic Palestine and Transjordan. Look familiar? It might do. Because that's the map on this podium, where Israel's finance minister and chief settler, Bezalel Smotrich, is speaking. He's repeatedly raised the Greater Israel plan.
אני רוצה מדינה יהודית.
שזה אומר מה?
מדינה יהודית. זה נורא נורא מורכב. זו מדינה שמתנהגת לפי עולם הערכים של העם היהודי.
הריבונות של ישראל מתחילה בים ונגמרת בנהר. בשלב הזה או שבעצם אנחנו גם יוצאים את עבר הירדן? בשלב הבא.
בסדר, לאט לאט. כתוב בחז"ל שעתידה ישראל, עתידה ירושלים להתרחב עד דמשק. רק ירושלים, עד דמשק.
Now, Smotrich is often dismissed as a radical, but building settlements is a key part of this Greater Israel plan, and it's actually the law. In 2018, the Israeli Knesset passed what's known as the Nation-State of the Jewish People law, enshrining the development of Jewish settlements as a national value. It also defined Israel as an exclusively Jewish state where only Jewish people have the right to statehood. And as we've seen, this settler project has been successful. Israel now controls or occupies about 82% of the West Bank, where most of this occupation energy is focused. And did you know the Greater Israel map is also one of the symbols of the Herut movement? That was an Israeli political party that merged with Likud in 1988. You know Likud, the conservative party that's dominated Israeli politics for the past 5 decades and is headed by Benjamin Netanyahu. And again, it's not like Israel taking over territory is all that wild. In 1967, Israel doubled its territory after the Six-Day War, and although it was forced to give back parts of the Sinai to Egypt, it still occupies the Syrian Golan Heights and the West Bank. Then in 1982, Israel invaded southern Lebanon and occupied it for 18 years. Israel used to also have 21 settlements in Gaza until they were dismantled in 2005. But the war there has reinvigorated Israelis who want to go back. There are even people trying to sell real estate there, establishing Greater Israel a bit at a time, or even reoccupying parts of countries like Lebanon might sound a bit far-fetched. But as the war on Gaza has shown, just about anything is possible when the world looks away.